on.
Okay, brilliant. My leadership task has been based around forest school and outdoor learning. So it was during lockdown, there was an opportunity to undertake forest school training. It's taken a lot longer than originally foreseen because of COVID. There was issues with the training as well. So I still haven't had the certificate yet, but due to that, then it was sort of a consequence of that. And the time frame became a big part of the SDP for last year. Obviously, this is linked to the curriculum for Wales, so that's one of the reasons why it was put into the SDP. So they're the main reasons why I undertook it and why. And as you can see, there's a few of the aspects of the SDP there which were put into it because of the training I was doing. Through discussion with my mentor Joe, it was decided that it would be a good idea to map out a plan for this programme. So what was happening at the time, what would be the aims for the future. So this is the plan I produced. It was some of it was the plan going forward that I developed for the SDP. Some of it was through discussion with Joe. I suppose once I presented it to Jo, she made it made me aware that it was there was lots of focus on me doing rather than leading others. So I kind of took that on board, and from that I sort of wanted to highlight the leadership experience that I have had. What impact has your task had on the school, and how have you measured it? So with this, we've gone from no forest school sessions at all. We weren't doing anything really. So then we went and put Wednesday into the nursery, and we started doing forest school with reception. That's worked well for probably a year and a half. And then we wanted the rest of the school to experience it as well. So this year in September, we've started with the year one. So on a Friday now, that means half the school is out doing forest school on a Friday. So that means much more of the teachers are engaged, and many more of the pupils are involved in the sessions as well. What other impacts it's had through the forest school inset, which I did. I shared the vision for the forest school and outdoor learning within the school. Part of it was to give staff a feel for what we do in forest school, the types of lessons that we'll be teaching, but it was also to kind of share those skills and empower them to move forward with enthusiasm for the teaching of outdoor learning and forest school, and just engaging and to enthuse them with working with the children outdoors as well, because just getting some of the staff to move outside was tricky as well. So already we're seeing that impact with the teachers taking the children out much more often. So that's one of the ways we've kind of looked at it. So measuring the impact, number of staff engaging in outdoor learning. We're outlining and highlighting the outdoor activities in our planning in green, so it's easily seen that we're doing outdoor learning for our school sessions within our planning. With the children, we're using the Leuven scale as a way of an assessment. And I think on a Friday now, even in the pouring rain, the fun and the laughter that we're seeing with the children, and the engagement that we're seeing with the children is a measure that we're using. Obviously, we can back that up with the Leuven scale as well. Sort of part of the way I'd like to assess it going forward is feedback from the pupils and parents. So that's something I'm going to look to do going forward, and then with more evidence from them, gain where we need to go going forward. The successes and the challenges, like I just said, I think the joy and the freedom that the children get from learning outside is something which is visible. I think even just the last few weeks where we've been doing it with the year one teachers, I think the enthusiasm and engagement that the staff are showing is a success. And I think on the last 3 Fridays it's been pouring with rain, so they're getting out there, they're enjoying it. It is brief, feedback to some degree at the moment, but they're kind of saying what they enjoyed, what they didn't enjoy in brief descriptions. I think, yeah. And again, another success is the number of children involved. Going from where we were doing very little outdoor learning with children, that's developed the numbers. Half the school out on a Friday, the nursery is doing it on a Wednesday, and our year twos are engaged in the gardening area, and they're taking that on board. Challenges. I think the summer term, where I was really looking to push forward what I was going to do with this leadership task. We had lots of staff absences. I had to step up and cover the head teacher. So that meant managing the day-to-day issues. And again, like I said, it became difficult to implement the plan going forward. And I suppose the other thing is sort of, I had the theories which we'd done through the course, and I wanted to put them into practice. And just having the time to do that in the way that I want to didn't always happen. The coaching wasn't quite the way I wanted to do it. So I think that was a challenge, is doing it the way you had it in mind. So yeah, that would be the challenges. I think sort of, how is the task developing our leadership skills, next steps? I think, as a caveat, I think that the continuation of this task will undoubtedly give me lots of opportunities to use the skills and ideas presented in the course. But in particular, I think it's made me much more of an active listener. I think it's sometimes, before I went on this course, you'd ask a question, almost know what you wanted as an answer. But I think I've sort of now ask a question, and I really listen to, because otherwise what's the point in asking the question if you kind of know what the answer is that you want. I think I understand that you have to model and support staff in order to aid the implementation of tasks, the changes, and tackle challenges. And I think I've done that sort of the grow model a little bit, but I think it's much more the rule of three I've kind of used. It's been that kind of informal way of coaching. I suppose particularly with the planning that the staff have been doing, they'll come to me, ask me, and I'll say, well, I've put in place some of the sort of resources that they can use. So I've kind of used the rule of three to get them to plan a lesson much more than me say, oh, here it is. Yeah, although I've used that, I think I'd like to be much more focused on some of the skills that we've learned on the course. I've been much more flexible. I think the role, stepping up into the head teacher role, has made me a bit more flexible with the way I've tackled some of the challenges, whether it's related to this task or just in school in general. Next steps, going forward, looking to identify a staff member to upskill for the forest school training. I think that will then lead into much more collaboration with the forest school ethos within the school going forward. Shared planning. I know I just mentioned about the rule of three and using that as a way of getting the staff to plan, but I think there's still one or two members of staff who would like that kind of support going forward. So that would be shared planning. Again, like I said, I'd like to use some of the ideas that we've developed through the course, particularly the GROW model. We've used it as part of this task, but again, I can see it being used as our kind of assessment and self-evaluation going forward. And then we haven't really gone external to the school with regards to developing the forest school area and the outdoor learning. I think we need to get resources, so collaborating with the community, collaborating with businesses, and getting advice and support on the best way to proceed. So they're the main things. I think that I've identified as next steps for this. So thank you.